And I will scroll up here to the top, and I will scroll over to the simultaneous call section. Now, this section is a little hard for a lot of people to get the first time we start to talk about it. So I'm just going to scroll slowly so I don't go too far. But there's a little bit of information about it here. But I'm going to pop out to a PowerPoint page really quick. And I think that will make it a little easier to follow the idea for this. So you have to remember with demand consumption, we are counting the time each unit takes on calls. So if I had these theoretical 3 calls that you see on the screen here, this is a timeline from 8 a.m. to 8:59:59. So basically it takes up an hour. If I had 3 calls that were each 20-minute long, and they were in the first 20 minutes, the next 20 minutes, and the next 20 minutes of the hour, theoretically, these calls could be handled by 1 unit or 1 unit hour. And so in demand consumption, these 3 calls would add up to a total of 1 hour used. And if they really came in this way and they were close together, I could have 1 unit handle them and I would be fine. But I don't know about you, but my life doesn't work like that. And if I'm going to get 3 calls in an hour that are 20 minutes long, I almost guarantee you they're going to all 3 overlap and I'm going to need 3 units to run them. So if you think about the same 3 20-minute calls that actually overlap, it's still going to count in demand consumption as 1 hour used, but I need to be able to pay attention to the fact that I needed 3 units during that time because I had 3 units busy. If I only staffed 1 hour, I would be down 2 units. I would have either had to have calls wait, call mutual aid, or just lost those calls. So that's the idea with simultaneity is while the demand analysis left side of that spreadsheet looks at the hours consumed or used on calls, the middle section actually looks at the total, the most simultaneously busy units at one time during that same hour. So we have the same 20 weeks down the left side, the same hours of the day across the top, and the same red to green conditional formatting. So if I look down here, here's an hour in the 1300 hour on the week of 8/22. So I'm going to highlight that row. In the 1300 hour, keep in mind this said we had 14 units busy at one time. I'll scroll over to the 1400 hour, and you can see there that it says 10. So that hour only used 10 unit hours, but at one time, 14 units were busy. So if you looked at just this left side for consumption, you might think, oh, I can staff 10 units, or I can be conservative, I can staff 11 or even 12. And this hour, you would have run out of units. And like I said, you'd have had to call mutual aid or have calls holding or do something else. So the combination of demand consumption, the left side, and the middle side really tells you how many unit hours were used. And the middle tells you how many units you had active on calls at the same time. And so really, really important. That's actually a really nice combination of information that some people used to use demand consumption and demand analysis to sort of take a look at that, but it still didn't necessarily work as well as this. So we're sure happy about demand consumption and simultaneity. But you'll notice that the same formulas are down here, but they're all prefaced with the word simul period to differentiate between the other formulas in the consumption side in the first column. So all these same formulas are here. You can pick and use whichever one you like.